you're going to have two things to begin with. So this is the base plate and the mount, and they are already joined. So you'll go ahead and you'll unjoin them. So it simply slides open. The base slides apart from the mount. It has a little locking mechanism here, if you can see that. There is a little ball detent that locks into this little indentation here that allows this mount and base to quickly attach and detach. And you'll hear it snap into place when you put it back on. So you will remove it for installation onto the M-LOK attachment system on your rifle. So today I'm just going to use a hand guard on its own, just for demonstration purposes. It'll be a little easier to see. But you'll, obviously be using the hand guard most likely on your rifle or on your upper receiver. So that's the base plate and the mount, and you are going to have a little package here that contains all the little parts and pieces that you're going to need to go along with your mount. So you'll go ahead, the caps are just pressure fitted in here, so you'll just pop those off and go ahead and pour out the contents here. So it will come with some paper instructions for you, so you can refer to those. It will also come with a screw and an anchor. So those, use your own discretion as to where you're going to be hanging the peg. This is the peg that will be installed to your preferred wall so that your mount will actually hang on that peg. So the screw and anchor are included to help you if you need them. Obviously this is a drywall anchor. You'll use that if you're installing straight into drywall, or if you're going into a stud, you would use the screw alone. If you're going into a concrete wall or something like that, use your own discretion. You may need to swap out that screw for something more appropriate. So, but we just include these to help you out here. So if you are going to use this screw, it's just going to pop right through the peg, and you're going to install that into your preferred wall in your whatever area you choose. We do sell an additional 3-pack of pegs if you would like to have more pegs around the house in different places, so that your rifle can travel wherever you need it, whether it's going from a gun room to maybe the side of the bed to inside a closet, whatever makes sense for you in your situation. So that is that. And then the last part you're going to have in here is you're going to have a little bag that has your very small parts and pieces. This is going to have your M-LOK hardware. And for those of you, which is going to be most of you, who are using the Gen 2 hang AR, you're also going to have a set screw in here. So we're just going to show you the difference here. I have a Gen 1 right here. You can tell it's Gen 1 because there's no hole over here. That means it does not take a set screw, so it does not have the option to lock into place. Our newer Gen 2 generation, here's a version, has this hole here. You will get a set screw in this package along with an Allen wrench that goes along with it, and you will be able, if you like, to install that set screw and screw it down in after you've installed it onto your rifle, and then the mount will be permanent or semi-permanent, so that it will not quick detach if you prefer it not to quick detach. But that's not necessary. You don't have to use that set screw. It's just an option for you, for those of you that would like it to stay on and not have the quick detach option. So anyway, enough about the set screw. So let's talk about the M-LOK real quick. So the base plate is the piece that will be M-LOK attached to your rifle and will stay with the rifle. It attaches through, if you're not real familiar here, many of your handguards will come with M-LOK attachments. They're these straight keyholes here. So you will choose the keyhole that you want to attach it into. I will say most often it's probably going to be one towards the tip of the rifle. I would usually choose like maybe the second or third one in, depending on what's comfortable for you and aesthetically where you want it to hang on the wall. Also, because our mount does double as a hand stop, you may want to choose a location that's comfortable for you to run it as a hand stop. So in this case, I'm going to choose the second from the end keyhole. And the base is going to get mounted into that keyhole, and you can feel it kind of sits right in that opening and doesn't move. And you're going to install it with the logo facing down closest to the trigger, closest to the lower part of the gun. So base plate, step one, you're going to insert the M-LOK screws into the top of the base plate. You can see they fit right into the openings and they create a flat surface there. And then these little guys are called T-nuts, and those are going to screw onto the screws there. You are not going to tighten them all the way though, because you need to have them loose enough so that we can insert it into that slot in the handguard and then tighten these down onto the handguard. So if you can see, I'm kind of tightening it down close enough to be kind of flush with the edge of the screw. You can go a little more, most likely. It's going to depend on how thick your handguard is. You might just have to feel that out. They are a little fidgety, so just be patient. All right. So once you get them kind of partway screwed on, then just make sure, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, make sure that your nuts, T-nuts there are lined up so that you can drop them into the keyhole in the handguard. So I'm going to go ahead, line it up, and I'm going to drop them into the handguard, hopefully. And then I'm also going to, there we go, drop right in. Make sure I've got it nice and snug in there. And then you're going to take the included Allen wrench and you're going to tighten those up. Now I will tell you that you'll find that you might have to play with it a little bit. I kind of lift the screws a little to make sure I'm getting enough friction to make those T-nuts tighten down. Once you've done M-LOK a couple times, you usually get the hang of it. It's not that difficult, but it might take a little patience for a minute. There we go. Okay, so there we go. My screws and T-nuts are tight. I've kind of used the handguard so you can see kind of there through the holes where it's tightened down, and the base plate is tight. So that is it. So the base plate is made to run full-time on your rifle, and then it's going to be up to you whether you run the mount full-time on the rifle or not. So the mount itself, like we talked about, it does slide on to the base plate. So if you get it lined up, it'll just slide right in and you'll hear it click into place. That's when that ball detent settles into that divot in there. So now this is on. It is basically set to go against gravity, so it's not going to come off on you while you're using it, but it is quick detach, so that if you were to quickly remove it from the wall without supporting it, it would come off quickly to allow you to quickly deploy your weapon should you choose. So you can kind of see how if you pull down quickly, it'll come off fairly easily. That's why in Gen 2, we do offer you the option if you do not want that to happen. If you want to not worry about it ever coming off, you can go ahead and install the set screw and put it on there for semi-permanent use. So there you go. Now you have your mount applied. Like I said, it can pretty much run on there full time like that if you like, or you can pop it off before you head out to the range and just have the small base plate there out of the way. And you have successfully installed your Hang AR stealth mount. So there you go. Thanks for being with us today.